Hey everybody, welcome to episode 114 of the Toys for Games podcast. We're recording this on a Thursday evening, April 13th, 2017. I am one of your hosts, Josh Brown. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Jason Greer. What's up, Jason?
Good evening, Josh. How are we doing tonight?
Not bad. It feels like it's been forever since I talked to you, but I mean, it was only 2 weeks ago that we had a fantastic April Fool's Day episode. Our voices were a little weird. Like, I don't know if it was the mics that we were using or Skype being weird. I don't know. It was weird.
I had a little bit of scratch in my throat.
Yeah.
It made my voice a little bit higher than normal, but...
Yeah, it was strange, but I mean, it was definitely us.
Right.
And we had a great show, but it feels like it's been much longer than that.
Yeah. See, I was on pain medication, and so I wrote the wrong episode number down in the notes. So, you know.
That explains it, yeah. And I was feeling a little cocky and a little full of myself that episode. That was kind of unbecoming of me, I think. That's not usually the attitude I want to portray.
Yeah.
It's not a good look, you know, being such a
not.
fanboy for one specific franchise and one specific franchise only. I'll do better this time, I promise.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah, well, you know, 1 out of every 113 episodes is bound to go into the mountain harder than usual. So, we're back. We're normal show this week. It's gonna be a little bit sped up. We don't have much time for chit chat. You are on a very strict time budget tonight because you have very important adult things to do.
Gotta go fast.
Very fast. It's gonna go so fast. You're gonna go so fast. The whole thing's gonna go so fast.
You might call it. We might go a little bit furious.
We started furious. Hopefully, we calm down by the end of it. You're gonna go see Fate of the Furious, the
Can't wait.
premiere. Looks like
IMAX.
Looks like a good movie.
I can't wait, man. It's gonna be good times.
Yeah.
Got $8 off my ticket. Thanks
to
to buying the 4K version of Fast 7. Also, for some reason, it had 2 stickers on it, so I actually got 2 $8 off tickets. So I got Vince and I's ticket both half off.
That was my next question: is who's lucky enough to join you on this adventure tonight? Was Vince?
Vince, yes, indeed.
Is he a fan, or does he just go with you?
Oh no, legit. We go opening weekend. We've gone to opening weekend for every single one.
Okay. I could never tell which one of your friends are going just because you're looking for somebody to go with, or because they're equal the amount of fan that you are of said thing.
Vince and I are the same, like, movie-like, so it's pretty much always the same. Everybody else is on for the free ride. So, there's been so many times, because, like, I get so many good deals at Best Buy, especially when they're, like, doing the DVD trade-ins. Like, I used to get, like, all these movie vouchers, especially when I wasn't working. And so now I'd be, like, 2 tickets to go see some random movie, and, like, nobody wanted to go. I'm like, all right, well, I just have a second ticket. Who just wants to go to the movie? My one friend Noah's like, I don't care. I'll go to any movie for free.
Fair enough. Jason, we're back to normal here tonight. So much so, in fact, that we had to have one of our very best friends on the show to join us. It's going to be a very busy episode. We have a lot of things to talk about because it's been so long since we've talked to you guys. The main focus of conversation tonight is going to be Amiibo. So we brought on the leading foremost expert of all things Amiibo, none other than Matt Sonnenberg. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Josh.
How are you?
I'm good.
Happy belated birthday.
Thanks.
Seriously, this time.
It's true. It's true. I'm surprised you didn't just wish me a straight up happy birthday like you normally do. But yeah. It has passed once again.
It's come and gone. Another year in the books, my friend.
I missed it again. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I don't think Josh ever actually hit it on the date anyway.
Well, here's the thing. It was going to be the day after, or it was going to be the day when we were going to record the Harry Potter podcast. Was going to be the day after your birthday. Your birthday was last Sunday, right? This previous Sunday?
I don't even know right now. What day is it?
You're not revealing the information.
Anyway, what I was going to say is I was going to tell you happy birthday then, but then I almost died from sickness. And then
It's true.
the next day we ended up recording, and then I was going to say, go through the whole happy birthday thing there, but I just didn't think the joke was going to hit home over there as much as it would here.
Very true. Yes, this is now our third time recording this week, so
yeah, it's a whole thing, Matt. It's a whole thing. Regardless, happy belated birthday, and here's to another year of us wishing you happy birthday one day at a time.
Perfect.
Thank you for joining us and talking about Amiibo. It's going to be fun.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Great episode.
Whew, boy. First, let me just say this here, guys. It is nice to have excitement back in the community. Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, with, Disney Infinity and Lego Dimensions being kind of up in the air and Skylanders taking a year off, like, it just seems like it's been one thing after another that's kind of deflated people's excitement in collecting, in acquiring, in playing, and with all things in this genre of toys to life. And there's been little perks here and there, little pick-me-ups, but yesterday with the Nintendo Direct and like all the new Amiibo that were announced, and it brought back that sense of excitement and just genuine happiness that we haven't seen for a while. And we've kind of speculated here on the show that it would take Amiibo to bring that feeling back to people, and sure enough, that's what happened yesterday. I know Jason's excited.
I'm very excited. I was just super impressed with the Direct in general.
Yeah.
Love the new format.
It was
new
a good
host,
show.
Everything. I mean, it was. I guess what before that was April was the Indies showcase. I guess they had, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I even watched that one.
It was quick and it was fine. It did its job.
Yeah. The January the Fire Emblem one was good if you liked. Like I watched it, even though I don't really play many Fire Emblem games. Although as I say multiple times in this podcast, I wish I did. I wish I just could click. But then like before that, like that Animal Crossing Direct, weirdest thing, And so to go from that to like this, This was great. And again, because, obviously they're up front. Like I didn't see very many people talking about it, but I tried to put an emphasis on it. They like even said like it's going to be mostly about that, but like they're opening the door for everything else. But it was like it was 1/3 like everything else. Like it wasn't like just 90% and a little bit. Like it was just as much everything else beyond their things. Like it was solid Direct, especially like Jason said, Jason number 2 on Twitter. Like if they're pulling all this stuff out in April, like what are they going to do in June?
Right.
Like, I assume they're just going to focus just on the Mario. Or it's the Smash game.
I don't know. I feel like E3 is going to be big for them, and I feel like this was the kind of stuff that they needed to get out of the way so that they could bring the bigger announcements at E3. Like, if they came with this info about Splatoon 2 and ARMS, which are coming out, like, a couple weeks and then a month after E3, people are going to be like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, the excitement wouldn't be there. So they get that out of the way now. Come E3, they could hit hard with Mario trailers and gameplay and demos and whatever. And then whatever else they're working on, whether that be Animal Crossing, Metroid, any of their bigger franchises that they're going to be finally bringing to Switch. They'll probably talk about Zelda DLC finally. But yeah, like this Direct just cleared the path of all the little junk that would take up time during E3 that they don't need to waste on.
Right.
The best part of that Direct for me, I think, was probably the fact that they went to the headlines a couple of times there.
Yeah.
Like that's all people need or want, especially nowadays with the way social media works and everything. Mm-hmm. It's just give them what the game is, what it's about, some quick gameplay, and a release date if you have it. Move on to the next one. So many of those games, that's all they need to give you. And like I would watch headline videos like that every day if they had them.
Yeah.
But they didn't need to spend a lot of time on the other stuff.
My favorite part of the entire presentation, I listened to I left halfway through the ARMS presentation.
Okay.
When they're doing that, because I had to drive down to church, so I had it playing through my Bluetooth audio and just listening to it in the car.
Sure.
And they're listening, everything going through, blah, blah, blah. And then they go, Payday 2! I'm like, What? You could have gave me 1,000 guesses, and I would never guess Payday 2 coming to Nintendo Switch.
No.
I mean, it's good to get like a mature AAA title in, but it's just like.
Well, the thing with that game is like they're constantly adding stuff to it, and the community for Payday 2 is gigantic. Like,
are they still adding stuff to it?
Oh yeah,
I never knew that.
Yeah, they're still adding stuff to it. People are still playing that like daily. It's a thing. So
that's nuts.
From the outside perspective, it's like that's the most random game you could possibly be bringing to the Switch, right? But Nintendo's looking at it as there are giant online communities still playing this game and still actively involved in this. We could take advantage of that, and we could get in on that in some way, shape, or form. So good on them.
Good for them.
Yeah. And I mean, Minecraft, that's a no-brainer, but you also have to look at it from the perspective of Microsoft owns it. So, like, that may be a little bit more tricky than you would imagine. So, yeah, just overall, well done. I think Nintendo just completely cleared out as much room as they needed to come out with E3 and just have complete freedom to do whatever they want.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Steam online multiplayer charts.
Mm-hmm.
It's right now it's as popular as it was when it launched. That's freaking wild.
Yeah, I'm not joking, man. It's a thing. It is a thing. Who would have known, right?
Who would have known?
Well, let's get into it. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to cover here. Maybe not a lot from every franchise, but enough little tidbits here to make a pretty decent show. First of all, I want to say thank you to George Torres, who has been, up until recently, our executive producer of this very fine program for so long. So long. So thank you, George Torres, for everything that you have done for us, for the show, for the community, for everything. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful, and you will always be a friend of us and the show, no matter where your travels take you. So, come back. We love you.
We love you, George.
Big thank you to our show sponsor this week, as always, is Devin Lachinsky. You can find him on PSN or Xbox. You could also find him on his YouTube channel, youtube.com/user/DLASCH2. That's the number 2. Getting right into business. Lego Dimensions. Do we have anything to talk about with Lego Dimensions?
Not really.
That's unfortunate.
We had some solid sales again this past week. So getting there, but we're steadily going to get quick on the way here till Wave 8. So look forward to that.
Yes. Normally, James Holian, he would be sponsoring this part of the podcast. You can find him on Twitter at Infinity Museum. James, we really wish we had some news to report for you and everybody out there, but is there any word on whether or not they're going to be at E3? Have they said anything?
No.
Okay.
I mean, Warner Brothers is going to be there, but
sure.
Nothing from them. I mean, that's, from what I hear is when it's, officially going to get chaos where people are going to finally be, I don't say it's in a good way, but finally realize that it's not happening.
Do you foresee them actually coming out and saying they're not going to be there, or do you think it'll happen like last year where we got floor plans and realized that, oh, Skylanders isn't there. Oh, Disney Infinity is not there.
Well, I mean, we won't see floor plans for Lego Dimensions because it'll just be all under Warner Brothers. But okay. I think they're just gonna get there and they're just gonna act like nothing's wrong. Like, no, what are you talking about? We got stuff coming. Just because again they want to sell the remaining pack, so they're gonna keep on ignoring it. They're like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yep.
I just.
But
I think their community deserves something from them.
Oh, absolutely.
What
we said about James was DMing back and forth with James this morning though.
Oh.
Because saw some random eBay seller selling some Disney Infinity prototypes on eBay.
Interesting.
Ooh.
They're pretty cool looking. They're let me pull them up real quick.
People are starting to spring clean and
Yeah.
Realize they have things that may be worth money.
It's Alice, Baloo, Time, and Mad Hatter, and they're all without the chip, and they're like don't have eyes painted on them. So they're just like the rough plastic assembly pieces. So I guess is what they sent for the factory. So I guess these were the pieces that were, because I guess the eyes come on later. These are like, I guess how you would say, like plastic pieces that they just mold together versus the eyes that they paint on there. So this is, I guess, the first one they send there. So they are like interesting. Baloo's the most interesting looking one, but it's currently at $22 with 24 minutes to go. So while you're listening to this, it's already going to be over. But
right,
so they're on eBay, so you go look and sold. I'm going to put a bid on that. The Alice one's kind of creepy. She has no face.
That would be insanely creepy, but kind of also fitting the character.
I'm going to put $25 down on Baloo.
I feel like that's a solid jump-in spot.
That's fair. Let's see what happens. Question is, do I remember what my eBay login is?
You should probably say the password as you're trying to type it out.
ABC 1, 2, 3.
Matt, write this down. All right, so no Lego Dimensions news. Not yet. We're just patiently awaiting the next wave. That's coming May?
Yes, May 9th.
May 9th, okay. So a few more weeks. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Well, you know what? Let's jump into Skylanders.
Let's do it.
I feel like that's a decent spot to pick up on. The Skylanders part of the podcast is sponsored by none other than Matt Sonnenberg. Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Thank you for sponsoring this segment.
That's a change.
I know.
Usually I don't get to sponsor it when I'm on.
I feel like I always do that to you, so I had to surprise you every once in a while.
It's a birthday gift. It's a birthday gift.
We're contractually obligated to be as nice as we can to you this episode.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, people can find you on Twitter at SCL Matt. They can also go over to sclmatt.com and find links to all of your various projects, including the award-winning Tales from Godric's Hollow podcast.
Yeah.
I heard that's pretty good.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah. Solid little show over there. Yeah, I should. You know, I've been meaning to get into Harry Potter, so I should check it out. See where I'm at. Matt, what's going on with Skylanders these days?
Oh, well, we finally, I believe, got the Cursed Tiki Temple.
Does that mean people have stopped asking you where it's at?
Yes, they have.
Where is it, Matt?
It's on my shelf.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But it's actually a nice little pack. I know some people are still, of course, disappointed with the level. It was too short. It didn't have a boss. But like, what are you gonna do? This was extra content they weren't planning on. They probably turned it out in a month or two. They just didn't have the production time. So I'm very happy with it. It definitely has different elements that we haven't seen in any of the other levels, whether it be in the game or the adventure packs. So
sure.
It's a nice little pack, and I'm loving Wildstorm.
Yeah, fun character.
He's probably another one of my favorites from this game.
Okay, let me ask you something here. Now, I have it. I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
Okay.
But the pack comes with the figure, the character,
yes.
Right?
Yep.
But it doesn't come with a play piece like other adventure packs did before.
Yeah, there's no level piece.
It just unlocks the level, just kind of like Crash or Cortex did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Putting Wildstorm on the portal is what unlocks the level.
Okay. But the pack does come with a blue treasure chest.
It does.
Tell me about this treasure chest.
Did they run out of other colors that now turn blue?
So this blue treasure chest is like they still call it an Imaginate mystery chest or whatever, but it acts completely different from any of the other chests that we have. Because any other chest will give you random parts.
Right.
They'll have like minimum amounts of like ultimate parts in that chest, but this chest is different. From what I can tell, I haven't been able to compare exactly with someone else's, but from what I can tell, the parts it unlocks are predetermined.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, it unlocks. I'm pretty sure it unlocks 80 parts, like it says on the box. So when you put it on the portal, it'll only show you 10 parts right away because they don't want you to have to sit there and scroll through all 80 right away. But it shows you 10 ultimate weapons, one for each battle class. And then all the other parts that it unlocks are just done behind the scenes.
Interesting.
So like in my account, I made sure I went through and cleared out all of the the little exclamation marks it puts when you have a new part. I made sure I cleared all of those off my screen, and then I put the chest on, and then I went back in there to see what it all unlocked.
Okay.
And it unlocks parts for everything, every part, every body part type, a lot of gear, and even stuff for the battle classes that have specific body types, like the ones that have the tails instead of the legs.
Sure.
It unlocks some of those. It unlocks more weapons for each class on top of the 10 that you saw in the first place. Like it just unlocked a boatload of stuff instantly.
That's cool.
But then there are also a few sets. That's the other different thing about this. The level is the chests that you find in the level don't just unlock like one part; they'll unlock an entire set.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
And so but the only downside to that is I'm pretty sure those are restricted to that level. So you literally do have to buy Wildstorm and play through that level and find that specific chest in order to unlock that set.
Okay, so those sets aren't going to be found throughout the game anywhere else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, that's incentive. I mean...
Yeah, absolutely. I like that design. That goes back to like when we were having that problem in Superchargers when they just randomized everything and you couldn't tell someone was looking for a soul gem. It's like, where is it? And I'm like, couldn't tell you. It's all random.
Yeah. I remember
you texted me.
You texted me a few times, like, if you go to this level and this soul gem, which one is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fun times. Okay, well, I have another question for you regarding the chest.
Sure.
I am a multi-console owner of Skylander Imaginators, thanks to the Nintendo Switch. And what I haven't tried at all yet is treasure chests.
Yeah.
If I unlock a treasure chest in one game, like if I were to do it on my PlayStation 4 per se,
yep,
would I be able to use that same chest on my Switch?
Yes. You can actually use chests once per profile.
Oh.
Yeah. So not per save file, but per profile. So like on your console, if you have an account and then Val has an account and your kids have an account, like each time you back out all the way to like the PS4, that main screen.
Yeah.
Out of the game and then switch to a different profile and then go back into the game, you'll be able to use that chest again.
Good to know. Huh. Okay, because I was worried about committing to using this chest on just one of the two consoles. Like,
no,
that's a tough decision I'm not ready to make at this point.
Yeah, you'll be able to use it on both, no problem.
Okay. I feel better about this.
It's all that.
Yep.
Yeah. Anxiety down. All the way gone. So what's the community saying? You said some people are upset there's no boss or anything like that? Like,
yeah, there's always a few rotten apples, but for the most part, everybody's loving it.
Sure.
For what I can tell, I think majority is enjoying Wildstorm. There are a few people who once again don't care for him either, which surprises me. But because I think he's one of the better designed characters, as well as I enjoy the way he plays.
Right.
So I mean, play style is personal preference.
Yeah.
But he for me, he works out well because he's a kind of a mix of melee and ranged.
Sure.
So it works out well.
Is it worth the price point?
I mean, it's questionable. I think they just stuck at the price point because that's what they're offering adventure packs for this year.
Right. But you're not getting that extra set piece to add to your collection.
So, I mean, if you break it down, a lot of people aren't going to break it down this way, but $15 for the figure.
Mm-hmm.
The creation crystal, even though
I forgot it came with the crystal.
Yep.
Okay.
It's probably a duplicate. You probably already have it, but it's another creation crystal, so it is worth $10. It's another character you can create.
Okay.
So I mean that's the 25. So you're only paying like $5 for the chest.
In my head, I was thinking it was just the figure and the chest. So I was.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be very questionable.
Okay. Never mind.
That'd be a Lego Dimensions idea.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we overpaid for something.
One pack, $12. Oh, you get two and same? That's $1 premium.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Awesome. I'm glad that's out and about and everybody could go buy that now if they want, or wait, or whatever the case is. We also got some images of some upcoming figures.
Picture.
Yeah, we got Blastertron and Tidepool in box. So this should, in theory, be what they actually look like. The box shots are where we get actual, like, final production images, as opposed to the prototype images they send out beforehand.
Right.
Like Evil Bunny.
Yes.
We could thank this to Amazon Italy.
Amazon Italy.
Infamous Skylanders leaker.
Yeah.
Yes.
I bet someone who's working at Amazon Italy is just like the biggest Skylander fan.
They gotta be.
Well, they have like a nice thing on their site that I do not think is on Amazon ours. That you can search for stuff that's coming in the next 90 days and stuff like that. Like our Amazon, you can't get like down to that kind of assortment.
Right.
Yeah, I always kind of wonder how much freedom, like, if it's literally like a legal issue as to why Amazon.com US it takes them longer to get that kind of stuff up there, and the foreign sites get all these like pre-order not coming soon type of things. They get them up there right away, and it's like, why can't Amazon.com do that?
Right.
Well, I think Amazon.com's just not putting any stock in. Like, I don't think the last few figure releases, all that stuff has been out a day, and then it's like, all right, next time you order, it's gonna be out in like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, let me look here. Tiki Temple's not in stock. Hard Boiled Flare Wolf is not in stock. The Switch Starter Pack is the only thing that's in stock, Starter Pack wise. Egg Bomber's not in stock. The 9-pack Creation Bundle is in stock. Their exclusive bundle they have. Pinata Bundle's not in stock. Thumble Islands is in stock. And looks like Pinata and Grave Clobber are in stock. So like their stock situation is not very good.
Well, I mean, a fair number of those were available for many, many weeks.
Yeah.
And now they have sold out, and they're not restocking, but they were there and available right away if you wanted them.
Well, how in stock was the Tiki Temple? I don't remember being up for really at all.
Yeah, that one's been weird. Because when someone pointed it out to me, by the time I got to it, it said currently not available, but you could still put an order in. And then there was like a week when it was available and you could just get it right away. And yeah, like I said, now it's kind of back to that nebulous stage.
If only we knew how to figure out Amazon.
Yeah.
We'd be winning this game.
Showing right now in stock. Estimated delivery of May 5th to June 6th.
That's a decent window.
Well, okay. You see, last time that happened, specifically with the Pinata combo pack, like people start putting orders in. Yeah, and then a week later, it's like all those orders got shipped out. They're just covering on their end because they're not entirely sure. Like, we have an order in, but we don't know when it's going to get here.
Something I ordered for work. Yeah, it was like something real basic. But they're like, yeah, it's going to be like 2 to 3 weeks. I'm like, really? Holy crap. And then next day, email like, no, I'm just kidding. I'll be here Thursday. Like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kidding. We found one. One last thing here on the docket. Tell me about this Lost Imaginite Mines adventure pack.
So this is the last adventure pack that we know about. It's, as far as we know, should be coming out with Wave 5. That means with Blastertron and Tidepool. We don't have a specific date for the US for any of those figures. Amazon Italy is listing as May 25th. But once again, that's probably not the US date. We could be 2 weeks earlier. We could be 2 weeks later, or anywhere in between. So it's hard to say when it's actually going to come out. But yeah, all we know is the Lost Imaginite Mines comes with Robo, a magic lantern crystal, I think. I'd have to look that up again. But a magic crystal nonetheless. And another blue chest, from what we can tell. That was pictured on the back of the Cursed Tiki Temple box. That it also comes with a blue chest. Which is going to be super confusing for anybody if they're trying to resell these or anything like that. Because there's like no way unless I don't know, why couldn't they just make it green?
That'd be
like
too,
that.
Matt. You know not to ask why when it comes to Skylanders. You more than anybody knows not to ask that question.
Hey, maybe by that time they'll run out of blue dye and there'll be clear chests.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Oh, that'd be so good.
Yeah. But in any case, as far as we know, it should act the same way as the blue chest in Cursed Tiki Temple, except it's going to unlock essentially the remaining parts that haven't been unlocked yet.
Sure.
So that's what we're looking for.
Cool.
Have you guys talked about the quarter 4 stuff off that chart?
We did not.
Okay. So there's a chart floating around from I believe, Business Insider article that claims that there's going to be a Skylanders Imaginators Adventure Pack released in quarter 4 of 2017. Now, there's a huge debate going on about this, whether or not this is the Lost Imaginite Mines pack, or if it's new content past that. I am of the belief that it is the Lost Imaginite Mines, because this chart is not something that was given to them by Activision. This is a chart that they put together from the information they had.
Okay. Now, when you're saying quarter 4, is that of this year or their financial year? Their fiscal year.
I think it was their way I was interpreting it was the calendar year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I'm interpreting it too, because like, even Activision, I'm not sure if they have a fiscal year or not, because they always tell us like they're giving their financials on quarter 1, which is the first quarter of this year.
Okay. Well, I mean, like EA and Nintendo, both their fiscal years end at March. So. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, quarter 4 that way could be weird too.
Yeah.
But from the way the chart was laid out, and because it actually covered 3 years, and actually went back to 2016. So yeah, it should be the fourth quarter, like, holiday.
Okay.
But the biggest problem is that, like I said, this is something they put together from the information they had. And I interpret it as they knew another adventure pack was coming, but they didn't know when. So they just said, Q4, it's sure to be out by then. Because I don't think, because there was a note at the bottom of the chart that said they put this together from information that had been announced via like press releases and such. And that there has been no other, they're the only one who has said anything about, hey, look, another adventure pack is coming. There's no way Business Insider had this inside information and just stuffed it on one line of this chart, and no one else has picked up on it.
Sure.
You're saying Business Insider would not have the inside information in a
Nope.
business?
Nope. Not that inside.
That's too inside for even inside business.
Yeah.
Now, Josh, I will say there has been a little bit of interesting thing developing this week.
Okay.
2 times this week, one in Virginia and one in Texas. 2 individuals have found a Thrillipede at their Best Buy.
You're kidding me.
Just
Nope.
a single one.
Just a single one, yes.
Both were street locked till 12/31/2017.
You're kidding me.
The
No, I'm
store
just
would
serious.
not sell it to him.
Have you
Would
guys
not
tweeted about
sell
this?
to
How have I missed this?
And I haven't tweeted about it.
Okay.
But then today, on the one post, it was on Reddit. There was one guy.
12/31/17.
Yeah, it was just a default.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But the Best Buy were just like, nope, we can't do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some guy posted on Reddit, then on the one guy's post said, check back tomorrow, you're welcome.
Yep.
And the guy's like, okay. And he goes back, and the street date was now today, and he was able to buy it.
What? There's an underground Thrillipede exchange going on?
So it sounds like that guy had some kind of access to like the Best Buy street day system, or just knew it was going to change for some reason.
Yeah.
I think he could change it, in my opinion. 'Cause
Exactly.
There's no reason Best Buy would have changed it randomly.
That was my thought, is either he is working Best Buy IT or he knows the guy who's in charge of it.
Yeah, and I don't know when, but Best Buy or Thrillipede now has disappeared from Best Buy's website. You remember it was foreshadowing coming soon for a long time?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now it disappeared. So maybe it could have been they took it off line, which probably removes any kind of street date. But the mystery continues.
This is just getting deeper and deeper. Wow.
I will like someone tweeted El Spado tweeted to me this morning yesterday. I'm like, legit, I would take it and run. Drop a 20 on the counter and just run.
Wow. Okay, so we have one in a Target, which is still completely unconfirmed, and 2 Best Buys. All 3 have been in different states all around the country.
Yep. And
so.
just a single unit every time.
They're
like
they're gonna make me go mad with this, man.
I think there's like a rogue Activision rep that travels the country. He drops one off at every store.
He has the briefcase like handcuffed to himself, like just...
It's like the Willy Wonka golden ticket, and like all these people are gonna be called into like a room, like later on, like you've been chosen.
I was just watching Rat Race last night.
There you go.
The gold coins that they got from the slot machines. Oh man, that's bizarre. I love you, Skylanders.
And like I think what the one said. Let me go back and read the one guy's post.
Could you imagine if this happened with like Amiibo? Like, Skylanders is just lucky that they're Skylanders. They're able to get away with this.
Yep.
So the guy says, so the local Best Buy guy told me he had some Skylanders he'd never seen before in the back. I got my hopes up for Heartbreaker Buckshot or something, but no, it was a Thrillipede. They only got one, and it was street dated for 12/31/2017.
That's crazy.
And then, like, it's funny, like, some guy in the comments saw them the same item. Sure, excuse me. Show them the same item for sale online at Amazon or a competitor, and try to explain the street day is obviously misentered. Okay, yeah, try to show them. All right, here's the Thrillipede entry on the Target.
Excuse me, guys. I need to go call Colin real quick. I'll be right back. Colin, I need your help right now. That's bizarre. Well, Skylanders, keep being Skylanders. All that aside, Matt, you missed the biggest story of the last few weeks regarding Skylanders.
Did I?
You did. I'm kind of upset that you did. Like, I brought you on specifically to talk about this. And you messed up.
You done messed up.
I mean, it's partially Jason's fault for not putting it on the docket. Let's be real. But you're also the expert, Matt. The biggest story of the week, or the last couple weeks, is your boy Josh Brown finding rock candy pinata in the wild.
It's true. It's true. Congratulations.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Isn't it?
Val and I were out and about that morning. Let me take you back to Saturday morning here just for a second. We were running around. She was hosting a baby shower for her sister, who's going to be having a baby in a month and a half or so. And baby shower was Saturday afternoon. Val had not planned anything for said baby shower until Saturday morning. So we had a couple hours to put this whole thing together. That included Party City, the Dollar Tree, bakery, Target, a Walmart. We had places to go that day. So when we go to Target, when I usually go to Target, I have my normal routine, right? I have all the different aisles and all the different sections that I like to go to and look for things.
Oh, yeah.
This time of year, I'm not necessarily looking for anything specific. The most recent few weeks have been just my morbid curiosity about what's going on with Switch stock and accessories and stuff. But I'll always go and look through the figures just because old habits are hard to break. I'm never expecting to find anything that I care about, but so this time when we went to Target, my whole game plan was completely thrown off because Val's with me. Because we're going to the baby section. I'm not walking up and down the aisles of the baby section in Target these days. You know, I'm far past that. That's come and gone in my life. So we're doing all that and everything, and then it was we're getting towards the end, and I was like, And she just looked at me. She's like, "You want to go look at the toys?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I kind of feel like I have to. It'd be weird not to at this point." So I'm just walking over there, and I'm kind of just zoned out because everything's looking the same as it always is. And then I just look up, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's a pinata!" She was like, "I didn't even know about that." And I was like, yeah. Because when she goes, so dating back to the launch of Imagineers, when the clear Starcast. I ingrained in her head that was a chase variant. I was like, every time you go look for Skylanders, look for this guy with the 4 arms, clear. So she's like, okay, got it. So every time, when she goes to stores, that's the only thing that she ever looks for. So I don't even want to think about all the variants that she's seen and hasn't even thought of, a second thought of because it isn't the clear Starcast.
Yep.
That hurts. That hurts a little bit. But so when I found
I've done the same thing with Becca.
Yeah.
I've every time a new chase variant comes out, I show it to her because I know that anytime she goes to a store now, she will run past the aisle for me.
Right. And see, that's what I should be doing, but I don't think to update Val on the new things that are being found. And I didn't realize that she was still looking for that one. I'm like, that's not going to happen. We could just forget about that one. I appreciate.
I just had someone last week show me that they found Pink Barbella at Walmart.
Okay.
Never give up hope, man.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna cancel that quite yet then. But she was just dumbfounded because in her head the only one that she's supposed to be looking for is the Starcast, and then here's this Pinata one. I'm like, this is the best one. This is the one that I named, Val. I don't think you understand the importance of this thing that I'm holding. The entire world knows it as a rock candy pinata because of me. This is destiny that I'm holding this right now.
So the bigger question is, Why doesn't she follow me on Twitter? Or does she?
She might. I don't know.
Like, she might follow my personal account. I don't know if she follows SCL Matt. She should, though.
Hard to say. She follows 1,000 people. So even if she did, the odds of her actually like pulling useful information from one specific person at any given time is slim to none.
Fair enough.
I don't understand how that woman follows so many people on Twitter. Like, that gives me a headache just thinking about. Like, I don't know how you curate that list, but whatever. She does her thing. So Rock Candy Pinata, it's mine, and it's the best thing ever.
It is.
It's so good. I love it so much. I could die a happy man. And that's the most important Skylanders news of the week.
All right.
Okay, now let's get down to business. Let's talk about what everybody...
Defeat the Huns.
What? What do you say?
Don't worry about it. People will know.
Okay. It's tuning you out.
I got you, Jason. Don't worry.
Thank you, Matt. You said, let's get down to business. What's the next thing you say when you say, let's get down to business? To defeat the Huns.
Have you never seen Mulan?
Josh.
When did Mulan come out?
Like
Yes.
98.
Probably when the last time I saw Mulan.
Get the frick out.
Oh.
Oh, snap. June 5th, 1998. Look at that Disney trivia. Bam!
Okay.
Dude, Mulan's my favorite Disney princess.
I understand that, and I appreciate that, and I'm not saying you're wrong.
Ugh.
What I'm saying is, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie, especially to pull a quote out like that from.
It's in a song. I don't have the entire movie memorized, but I know the songs.
There were songs in Mulan?
What the fudge?
Wow.
Two of the best songs ever in that movie.
Now, if you guys want to talk about
All
Harry
right,
Potter...
You have until the end of April to watch Mulan.
End of April. Okay, by the next time we talk, I'll have watched Mulan.
Oh my gosh, is it still on Netflix?
Next podcast.
Mulan 2 is on Netflix. Don't watch that trash.
Is it as good as Little Mermaid 2?
Mulan 2?
Yeah.
I personally do not remember any of the twos.
What about Pocahontas
any
2?
of them. What?
Pocahontas 2.
I literally do. Maybe if I think about it.
Aladdin 2.
No. I was going to say...
Aladdin... Okay.
Yeah,
Aladdin 2 and 3, I remember.
Exactly. Aladdin 2 and 3, but that's probably because Aladdin was always my favorite Disney movie, so I actually saw the sequels a couple of times as well.
Speaking of bad sequels, Toy Story 2 and Cars 2. Get out!
What?
Don't like
What
it.
are you talking about?
Not a
Toy
fan.
Story 2 bad?
Not a fan.
Toy Story is like they have the best sequels.
Toy Story 3, beautiful. Fantastic film. Didn't like 2. Same with Cars 2. Wasn't a fan.
Cars 2's acquired taste.
As long as we could come to common grounds here. Let's talk about Amiibo. Everybody's here to talk about Amiibo, to listen to us talk about Amiibo. It's been a week full of Amiibo information. Let's talk about it. But first, this is sponsored by Michael O'Driscoll. You can find him on Twitter at Amiibo_museum. He's getting married in a couple weeks. Michael, I made very serious efforts to try to make it out to the wedding. You were gracious enough to send Jason and I wedding invites. It was definitely a possibility I was looking into. I was looking into flights and hotels, and there were a lot of factors that came into play, and it was going to be tough. I really wanted to, like, at the very least, like, make a surprise entrance. Make, you know, your wedding all about me and me showing up. That would be spectacular, I thought.
Yeah, if it was on a Saturday, Josh and I, which, you know, no fault to you. You know, we understand why you chose the date.
Sure.
You told us why.
Yeah.
But if it just happened to land on a Saturday, Josh and I would have been there in our Dumb and Dumber suits without a doubt.
Oh yeah. Like real suits too, not like our t-shirt suits.
No.
Yeah. And that was the first thing that we talked about was like it being in the middle of the week. I mean, even a Thursday, it's tough. It was tough.
And there was, what fast food restaurant? Because we said we only have to go to a reception because there's some fast food restaurant down the road. Like a Wendy's or something.
Yeah. But regardless, I did make serious efforts to try to make it happen, and unfortunately it didn't work out. But I know it's happening in a couple weeks. I will continue to say congratulations to you guys. I hope you keep us up to date with how the wedding happened, how, let us know that everything went well and all that good stuff. But what a better time to be an Amiibo fan, Mr. Amiibo_museum, than to have all this Amiibo information just dropped on your lap just a couple days a couple weeks before your wedding. Great wedding gift.
Great wedding gift.
Right? I thought so.
Yeah, so we got a a couple weeks. Yeah, anyways. Couple of things. One, just want to say I did win the Baloo prototype. So that's exciting. We'll see how that comes in. 2, trivia question of the night, or your information to come in.
Fun fact.
Nintendo Switch has sold 906,000 plus units in March in the US. Guess how many copies of Zelda was sold for the Switch? So 906,000 units were sold of the Switch. How many Switch copies of Breath of the Wild were sold?
Any less than 900,000, I'm going to be upset.
Realistically, it's got to be at least well over 500,000, I think.
600,000.
906,000 units were sold, Switch units.
Uh-huh.
The Switch sold, or the copies of Switch for Zelda sold 925. More copies of Zelda were sold than Switch.
Now, hold on. Now, is that factoring in Switch copies or the Wii U copies?
Switch copies. Wii U sold an additional 460,000.
What?
Did the only thing does that include digital?
This was it. Let me see. It probably does.
I'm thinking some people may have bought digital and physical or something like that.
Yeah, well, some people said they bought limited edition to keep and physical. That's what Nintendo's official thing is, saying that people probably bought it. Their quote was, "This may be attributed to people who purchased both a limited edition of the game to collect and a second version to play."
That could be.
That's the most wild thing I've ever heard.
Collector's editions, yeah.
That's what I said. I tweeted out, I'm like, I'm trying to think of another time where a game sold more than the system did, like for that system.
That's unheard of.
Yeah. So, I mean, 1.3 million units total of Breath of the Wild, but wild. It's your fun fact of the night.
All right.
Amiibo craziness.
Wow.
Let's get to it. Yeah, so we're getting hit with quite a bit more than we thought we were going to be. And some stuff that I thought we were going to get and we weren't getting. So anyways, I broke it down into release date time frame. I think it'll be easier to talk about stuff that's coming in.
Because I think people are already starting to get it all muddied and...
But no, 100%. I had to break it down like, who's coming what, when? Yeah, so
Matt, pull out your pen and paper. You're going to need to write this down.
Get ready.
Okay.
June 23rd is our first Amiibo date of the new stuff they need to circle on. And this is new Zelda Amiibo is coming. New 30th anniversary edition, I guess you could consider it. Mm-hmm. Amiibo coming on June 23rd. Now, I meant to research this earlier. Is June 23rd a date for any reason? Is that like the DLC date?
They said the first pack of DLC will be the summer, so possibly.
I'm wondering if that's...
They have not dated the DLC yet.
Because, yeah, that's... I mean, as far as I know, I don't think there's anything coming out on June 23rd.
It's a Friday, which is in line with Nintendo's way of doing things, and it honestly wouldn't surprise me if that coincided with the DLC.
Yeah, that's what my first logical guess was.
Yep.
Because only thing else coming on June 23rd is nothing. Okay.
Ever Oasis.
There you go. Is that new game they announced?
Yeah.
And is that a digital title or a physical?
I think it's just digital.
I would assume so if it's coming in 2 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, so June 23rd to get Majora's Mask themed Link, Link from Twilight Princess, and a Link from Skyward Sword.
Now, Jason, I'm going to be able to go into any store and buy all 3 of these at one time, right?
You would maybe in a couple months, but not on June 23rd.
What?
All 3, it appears to be retailer exclusives.
That
Back
word, that phrase that scares people for years.
Yep. So Skyward Sword is exclusive at Amazon. Twilight Princess is available at GameStop. Majora's Mask is unknown at this point.
Ooh. Exciting.
But yes, we'll get to that in a second. Some theories on that.
Okay.
So June 23rd, those are those 3 dates.
Okay.
Moving on to July 21st, will be a big day for Nintendo. A big day for Nintendo. Splatoon 2 will be launching for Nintendo Switch. Very excited to look forward to that game. In addition to that, we're getting some new Splatoon 2 Amiibo, which we guessed was going to be coming. Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl, and Squid are all coming.
Surprise.
Surprise.
What else are you going to get?
Yes. Now, Josh.
Yeah.
Do you think Nintendo would repose these for us?
I mean, it would be nice considering it's a new game. I mean, they're calling this Splatoon 2, not Splatoon Deluxe Edition or anything like that. So if this is a new start for the franchise, for the series, and a new game, a new fresh, hip game for the Switch owners out there, I would definitely think we'd get some new, fresh Amiibo.
And you would be correct.
Woo!
Good job, Nintendo. Now, yeah, Boy and Girl, both new poses, probably new stuff from the game as well.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, look that much into what they were carrying. But the thing that drew my attention was the squid.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's we always talked about the P-Sticks and stuff like that from, like, the first wave of things. It's, like, that thin, it looks like, to have that squid on there. But it looks like it might be one of the tallest ones we have.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just visually, optical illusion with it. But it looks like it's going to be pretty tall.
Sure.
I'm not saying like Yarn Yoshi tall, or I mean, it's obviously not going to be taller than the box, but it looks taller than the other squid. Maybe it's just.
Let me stop you there real quick, because speaking of the stands, did you find it weird that the Skyward Sword Link needed braces on his legs to hold him up?
I didn't even look that close.
It has 2 little clear triangles in between his legs to brace him. And I'm just like, really, Nintendo? After all this, you still need to have those?
I see it. Hey, man, safety first.
I mean, at least they're not yellow, but still.
Right. That's so funny.
I mean, you could pose these however you want.
There's no restriction.
You're restricting yourself at this point. Anyway, yeah, the squid looks awesome.
Yeah, so those are all coming. Very excited for those. All your previous Splatoon Amiibo will be working for this game as well. Interesting things that they're doing with this. Very interesting things. At least with the 3 new ones. I don't know about the old ones. They didn't really get that depth with it. You can befriend your Amiibo. So you can set your outfit and gear and everything, like how you want to play your Splatoon character, and save it to that Splatoon. So that the Amiibo. So then if you're like, you know what, this game I want to be like this person, you just tap that Amiibo into it and loads those presets. And what that also then means, you can then go over to your friend's house and be like, you know what, my character's the jam, tap that Amiibo in there, and then you preload those assets into the game so you can play as your version of your character.
Added functionality to Amiibo?
Doing like actual Toys of Life per se with it?
Gasp.
I would say so.
Yeah.
And then they also said that your Amiibo, normal Amiibo functionality might give you some special gear as well. I don't know if that was just like tongue-in-cheek, kind of like, may not, or if it's just going to be like this, like each day it's like random, or if it's like, okay, this one's going to unlock this gear. But there was like
or they
ninja
really haven't
costume.
decided how it's going to work yet.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I think there was like 4 costumes I think they showed, and there's only 3 new Amiibo coming, so it might just be like a random, who knows. But there's a ninja costume and like a full-blown metal guy. I want that dude.
Yeah.
So looks pretty sweet. So excited about that. New Splatoon Amiibo. Everybody gets excited about that. Also on that day, because that's not just enough. You know, Nintendo's like, hey, Splatoon could have its own day, but let's make sure we, push it with something else out there. Super Smash Brothers Amiibo are finally coming.
I
Jason,
never thought I'd live to see the day.
Number 2 came out, bold prediction saying there's no way they're going to announce these Amiibo during the Direct, but
yeah,
he was wrong, my friend.
Again, they had to. This is the kind of stuff that they need to get out of the way, so come E3, people aren't wondering about it and asking for it.
But now, like, again, either A, they're going to overwhelm, but, like, they could have saved some of the stuff for the E3 just to seem more exciting, but
these are characters we already knew about, and things that we already knew about. Just get
I
it
just
out
mean
of
even
the
just
way.
random games.
Yeah.
In, like, the Kirby, there's a Kirby multiplayer game coming in 2017. Okay.
But
like,
they drop that
weird.
during the E3 Direct, and they get made fun of for that.
Yeah.
Well,
they could probably show some kind of artwork in 2 months.
Yeah. Well, press release it.
What?
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying 3DS games anymore.
Kirby's the bomb, man.
Yeah,
So
not on
you're the
3DS
Kirby.
anymore.
Well, I will buy it.
You will not.
I've bought every Kirby game.
Sure. When's the last time you've touched your 3DS, sir?
This morning when I wanted to download the Puyo Puyo Tetris demo. That's on the Switch. What's
That's
the other
the
demo?
Switch, buddy.
What's the other 3DS demo that came out yesterday?
Nothing, because...
No, something else came out yesterday. Forget what it was. But then also that day, Smash Bros. We said, so we knew, like what's taking their grand old time.
Yeah.
Nintendo decided to Nintendo this,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Hey, you've been waiting for these 2 or these 3? We're gonna hit you with 2 versions of each of them."
Right.
Why? Because we can. So Cloud Core and Bayonetta are coming, but also Cloud Core and Bayonetta Player 2 versions are coming.
Mm-hmm.
And those Player 2 versions are going to be retail exclusives.
Sure.
So Cloud's going to be on GameStop, Corrin at Amazon. Cloud and Twilight Princess one are both available to be pre-order online and in-store right now. Heard that Twilight Princess actually sold out online, but I'm sure that will restock obviously well before the day comes out.
Right.
Right now, also you have to pay shipping for both of them, so just go in store and pre-order it. But Corrin and Skyward Sword, as of recording, did not post up yet. But we do not know yet where Bayonetta Player 2 version is coming yet, nor do we know where Majora's Mask is going yet. As of right now, both Best Buy and Walmart have pre-orders live, but do not include those 2. So some are logically thinking those, if they were store exclusives, they would be out already, for pre-order.
Sure.
Toys R Us does not, or Target does not have pre-orders yet. So you could think logically maybe those would go there. Maybe one's going to one and one's going to the other. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
The big debate is on Bayonetta Player 2 because Bayonetta is that Toys R Us market per se. Who knows? I mean, Toys R Us is also, while it's trying to kid stuff, they also have some teenager and up stuff there. They're trying to branch out as well.
Sure.
So I could see them doing that also.
Yeah.
I would have thought it fit Best Buy's mantra the most. And so maybe it still could show up for that. Who knows? Maybe they're still locking something else down and putting it up. But as of this point, we do not know where Bayonetta Player 2 goes. But obviously the big $1 million question is over this.
What's the Player 2 mean?
Are they doing Player 2 of all the Smash Brothers Amiibo?
Exactly.
Yes, please.
Are they crazy enough to do this?
They absolutely are.
Yes.
They absolutely are. If they're doing it, they're obviously doing Smash Brothers for the Switch.
Yeah.
Why the heck not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, the Player 2 naming scheme is possibly the best thing I've ever seen. Like, I just love that. Like, I don't think I would have thought about that. You think about, variants and alternate versions, but Player 2, especially thinking about Smash, like it's perfect. And so why not go back? Like those have been their biggest sellers probably.
Oh, easily.
So why not go back through the roster again? People will buy them. They know it.
100%. And it's like, because like as soon as they did it, I'm like, Player 2, and I'm like, oh crap, they do have a back roster. And I was
Yep.
like,
Rob and Mega
go...
Man are the only ones that they made variants of, right?
Yes.
From the Smash line.
From the from Smash probably, I think.
But like, why? Yeah, 100%. Why not? They could go back and like, you know, as we saw, as they got on and on, they started looking better and better.
Yeah.
You know, now if they, as they did the Player 2, aren't restricted to their designs from the trophies,
Right.
and they can fix some of the weird P-stick issues, 100% they will do it. 100%.
If that's one of their big announcements at E3, the internet's going to burn down. Like, I don't know how people are going to be able to contain themselves.
Just do like 2 a month.
It's a great time to be alive.
Easy money. But we'll see.
Yeah.
And then finally, July 28th, Pikmin is getting a new 3DS game.
Mm-hmm.
Intriguing. But also doing a new Pikmin Amiibo. So, once again, that game is probably going to sell.
Yep.
Yes.
Because of the Amiibo. So, that's coming out July 28th. So, 1 week later after Splatoon 2.
Sure.
So, other things to keep an eye on. They did confirm Monster Hunter Stories. The game is coming out in the fall.
I was waiting for the Amiibo to show up. I was like, oh, they're doing it. They're doing it.
And then when I saw, like, when I went back and watched it again today, I said about the fall, I'm like, okay, they're just going to wait because it's a way to easily re-remind you the game's coming out by saying, oh, yeah, the Amiibo are coming too.
Yep.
Box Boy, which had a game come out in Japan with Amiibo, came out Wednesday digitally. It's out now digitally. So who knows what's going to happen with that Amiibo.
Yeah. That's the craziest one to me.
Yeah.
That seemed like a shoo-in. Once they started talking about Box Boy, I'm like, oh, this is easy.
And then, like, out today, I'm like, oh, whoop.
Does that mean the Amiibo's out today too? Come on, Nintendo.
I'm going to be shocked. And then, like, Mario, I know we're 2 weeks out, but I for sure thought they were going to do something.
Yeah.
You know, but who knows. Reminder, I just put it out on Twitter. I just got $23 for my Mario Kart on Wii U version. So if you're planning on upgrading, it's the same game plus extras. So, I mean, unless you're planning on playing it back on the Wii U, you might as well get some money back. $23 on Amazon.
That's right.
But I do want to do something we never do on the show.
All right.
Hot off the presses. Hear that? Hot off the presses.
I like it. Did you actually print it off so you can...
No, I actually just took a piece of paper and ruffled it. We're going to talk numbers.
Whoa.
We don't talk numbers on this podcast. But I decided to do some analysis today because I was bored. I was sitting there when I watched
Didn't know that was possible.
I was watching this E3, and I was... Or not E3, this Nintendo Direct, and I was like, this feels like a lot in a small window. So I went back and did some research. And see how many come out in different time frames. So here we go.
Okay.
Broke them up. Amiibo seem to be coming in 3-month time frames. Okay? So, from November to January. So, beginning of November to the end of January of 2014 to 2015. This is wave 1 and 2 of Smash.
Okay.
We got 18 Amiibo.
That's a lot.
From beginning of February.
Well, to be fair, nobody actually got all 18.
That's true. I got all 18. And then I opened them, and I was very sad. February to April. So beginning of February to end of April. That was wave 3 and 4, I think it was. We got an additional 18.
Okay.
Beginning of May to the end of July, we got 14. From end of July to October, so essentially August 1st. I counted it was like the weird Amazon retail exclusive that came on like July 27th or something. I'm like, that's close enough to August 1st. We're just going to count it in that.
Sure.
And this also includes the Skylanders Amiibo. All this excludes the Amiibo cards because that's a whole entire separate thing.
Yeah.
But I included Skylanders Amiibo. But this was also 18. So 18, 18, 14, 18. The end of November of 2015, or excuse me, beginning of November 2015 to the end of January 2016, we got 20 Amiibo. Wow. From February to the end of April, we got 8. This was the big,
the drought.
What's going to happen? Yeah, the big drought.
Yeah.
And
when everybody started blaming Skylanders for the death of Amiibo.
Yeah. And well, I think it was November. November was the let me double check the date, because I think this is what we decided on. This is my opinion. Okay, September 25th. I think is when Amiibo craze is over, because that was when the 3-pack came out at GameStop.
Okay. Yep.
And remember that there was like 5,000 copies available.
Yeah.
And like after that, stock was never an issue. I mean, we didn't get our Smash till we got Mewtwo in November, but even that was still easy to find. So that, I think we've, in previous discussion, that's when we decided.
Yes.
That was when they got the situation figured out. So that we got the 8 in February through April, June 10th through August 10th. So another time period in that time, we got 10. So we went 18, 18, 14, 18, 20, 8, 10. Then this past November to January, we got 11. So snuck up there a little bit. Then February to April, we got 6. So down again. But this time frame from May 19th, which is beginning of the next big wave, which is the 2-pack of Celica, almost said Cecilia again, and Alm.
I forgot those were existing.
19th. Those through July is 15. So it is up there pretty high.
Yeah, it's coming back up.
Yeah, that's highest it's been since the end of 2015. So, and again, we're not even at holiday. So what I'm saying is, logically thinking, I think they're setting themselves up for a big hit in the fall.
Yeah.
With the Mario or Smash. I mean, again, for redoing Smash. I mean, I figure we're going to get hit hard with Amiibo this fall. Now, I did check beginning of January, beginning of the year to the end of July, because all these Amiibo we know are coming at the end of July. This year in 2017 is at 21. In 2016, we're at 24, so we're right on course.
Okay.
Per se for that. But that is your interesting factoids.
I like that.
So if you don't know yet, just to recap real quick, we got Alm and Cecilia. Forget it, I said it. May 19th. Then we get the Legend of Zelda Amiibo in June. Then the Smash Brothers and Splatoon Amiibo on July, and then the Pikmin at the end of July on July 28th. So
nice.
That tight little window there is going to be pretty hot and heavy.
Sure. That's exciting stuff, man. It's nice to have Amiibo back, and it's nice to be seeing everybody super excited about Amiibo as well.
Payday 2 Amiibo, let's go!
And like the functionality of Amiibo continues to get better, and I know Matt at least appreciates that. So
yeah, definitely.
It's
I'm glad they're finding ways to use them in the games. Like, still not really tying them to one game, which is fine because they're selling anyway. They didn't really need to, but I like that over the course of time they are finding unique ways to use them in different games.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we obviously got Mario whatever
Odyssey
thing. It's Odyssey. Kirby games. It's Kirby year, so you would think there's gonna be another line of Kirby, even though from all accounts it seemed like the Kirby line didn't sell that well. But you would think they would still do something with it. So we got that, and I'm sure obviously we got a bunch of other stuff down the line. So I think we'll get a bunch.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Nintendo a hot company right now, and with the Switches selling at such a high rate, the install base of people that are owning devices that are capable of using Amiibo are continuing to climb, and will easily surpass like the lackluster Wii U sales, and just the overall kind of downtrodden attitude towards the Wii U. Where people are excited to have their Switch, they're excited to be playing these games. That's going to equate into excitement for Amiibo that they could use on their games that they're playing on the Switch that they're excited to be playing.
Yep.
It's going to be good, man. It's going to be good.
Good times. Excited.
Jason, I know it's that time.
I'll say it's time to bid adieu.
It is.
I do want to say real quick.
Yes.
Move on, because I put a note in there. Just want to personally speak to it.
Sure.
Remember Lightseekers? Monday. I know you'll get to talk to it when we talk about our stuff. Pre-orders go live on Monday, apparently. This was Presley said. I don't think they've really even talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
So Toys R Us pre-orders should start Monday for Lightseekers. So keep your eye out. Obviously, follow at Jason Inquires here, and I'll keep you updated as much as possible. But hopefully stuff goes up Monday. And then we got July 1st is the day. So exciting times, man.
Definitely. Well, Jason, thank you for hanging out with us for a little bit. Matt and I, we're going to stick around. We're going to finish this show, but we're going to let you go watch a movie and have a giant bowl of popcorn and a giant soda and hang out with Vince. And hope you have a lot of fun. Tell Vince hi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will.
Where can people find you at?
You can always follow me personally on Twitter, twitter.com/JasonInquires. You can always head to Jason Inquires also on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I always head to Brick Inquirer and Skylanders Inquirer for all your latest news.
That's right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to hang up. I don't know if it's going to disconnect Matt or not. I always forget how this works.
It shouldn't, because I called you, so...
Yeah.
Who knows? The power of editing will make it sound like nothing happened at all.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Bye, Jason.
See ya.
See ya.
Matt is still here on the call.
It's true.
We're going to finish this podcast, huh?
We should do that.
This was actually the real reason why we invited you here, Matt.
Yeah, I had a sneaking suspicion.
Back up for when Jason bailed on me, because there's no way we could do a short show. With this much information, it was impossible.
No. Yeah, there was way too much to talk about.
Yeah, too much excitement in the air, too much buzz.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Lightseekers. Lightseekers is part of the podcast. This one's sponsored by Christopher Long over at Long's Toys. You can find him on Twitter at CLong83. You could go over to YouTube, youtube.com/user/Long's Toys, or you can check out his podcast that he does with his friends. It's called Geek Each Week. You can find that on Twitter at Geek Each Week. Matt, you're a fan of Lightseekers.
At least part of it, yeah.
Part of it. The card aspect, the card game, right?
Yeah, I'm very interested in the card game.
Did you order some?
I did. I kind of forgot about it, but it showed up on my doorstep, so...
Sure.
Yeah.
I had seen the notice that they were going to be going out, and I had to stop and think, did I order some? Did I mean to order some? Like, I definitely knew I wanted to, but I couldn't remember if I did or not. You know, I was at that point. So which ones did you get?
I went the full-blown. I got all 6 starter decks and a bunch of booster packs.
Sure. Have you opened them up already?
Absolutely.
What do you think of them?
They are great. Have you opened the cards yet?
I have opened them, and I opened up the booster pack, and I started to look through the rules and the explanation, and I said, nope, not right now. I can't wrap my head around this at the moment.
It is definitely a fairly complex card game.
Yeah.
Like the general mechanics are easy enough, but there's the minutia of how exactly, like, when you can play a card and when you can't play a card is going to take some getting used to. And then, especially if you get into like actual like tournament play, you're going to need like a ref to watch these things, I think. Like, hopefully the players will know enough and be confident and trustworthy enough that they can self-police themselves. But
right.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in this game.
No, my question is with that is, I mean, you've been playing board and card games most of your life, as far as I know.
Yeah,
you're pretty into the scene. You know how these things work, and your knowledge of like basic rule sets are easily applied to all kinds of different games to make it easy for you to adapt to learning new sets of rules and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
From just opening up the papers and just starting to flip through the instructions and the overwhelming sense of being confused that I had, I worry how complex it is for people like me that are just jumping in, that aren't super familiar with card games like this. Is that something to be cautious about?
Well, I wouldn't go entering any tournaments right away. But
okay.
I from my perspective, there's two things. Like I haven't played a ton of card games, like trading card games or collectible card games, whatever you want to call them. I know the basics of a number of different ones, but I've never really gotten into any of them too much. Like the first one I really dove into a lot was Battlecast.
Okay.
And that was simple enough because it wasn't physical, it was digital.
Right.
And so they took care of all the questions you might have had about the rules.
Right.
Like, they don't let you cheat. It's digital. But just watching some videos of other people unboxing it and going over some of the rules and such, like, they were comparing different parts of it to other popular card games that are out there. Okay. So a lot of the rules are, I guess, not uncommon, not completely out of the question, not something brand new.
It's not totally
that they're
original.
Introduced. Yeah.
Okay.
But it is just the way that they put them together, I think, definitely makes it unique.
Okay.
Yeah. So for some people, I think it's going to take a while to catch on to. Mm-hmm. Something I've gotten really good at over the years is reading rules and being able to explain them, typically better than the rules can, to another player.
Right.
Like that's how I play games with my parents. Like, my mom won't play a new game until I've read the rules, possibly played it through once with my dad, and then me explain it to her.
Sure.
Because she doesn't want to read the rule books. Like, I completely understand that they're boring, tedious, and many of them are poorly written.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and if you get lost in the middle of it, like, you're just done for.
Yeah. So I got the gist of this game down, but I still have questions because it usually comes in, like, with the text on each individual card. Mm-hmm. It's like they have, I think, 385 cards, they said.
Right.
And that's a lot of text and a lot of things that can interact with each other, potentially.
Yeah.
And so that there leaves a lot of questions, and that's where a lot of the confusion is going to come in, I think.
Yeah. So the cards themselves, what do you think? You like them?
Yeah, the cards themselves I love. Like, have you felt the back of them?
Yeah, they're nice quality.
There's like 3 or 4 different textures on the back of the card. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is the part of the card that, I mean, it's the same on every card. No one is probably ever going to see it because anyone who's going to get serious about playing is going to sleeve these cards,
right,
so they don't get messed up. But that has got to be the nicest card back I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah, I love those cards, and I like the artwork. I love some of the characters, I guess you could say, they came up with. Mm-hmm. And I mean, just some of the names. Like, there's I started making a list of some of these, but like, there's what is it called? Impressed Sludgefin.
Right.
There's a heroic starfish. There's a anti-gravity snail. Okay.
Sure.
That sounds like something I want to play. So they look great. They feel great. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to come down to finding people to play with.
Yep.
They've been talking about it. They have plans for expansions already. It sounds, from what we've seen and heard, like they're probably leaning towards tournament or league play of some sort.
Sure.
And my favorite part is their forums. They're not super active, but they are well moderated.
Right. Absolutely. And they have been since day one.
Exactly. I believe it's Crow from their team.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He is in there every morning. So like if I ask a question now, even though they're over in the UK, I know when I wake up tomorrow morning, it's going to have an answer.
Right. Yeah.
Because he's in there. I mean, it's probably like 3 a.m. our time, but he's in there answering all the questions. And if he doesn't know something, he'll get an answer on it because their team is all working together. They share information. They get this.
Yeah.
They're doing it right.
Absolutely. They have. And that's why they continue to find the success that they are, is because they show that they care about their audience and their community that they're building, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just amazed, like, how much they're sharing and how much information they have and how much they're willing to tell us and all the questions they'll take the time to answer. And it hasn't even released yet.
Right. Exactly.
Like we're in the beta system and the cards just shipped out, but the general public can't get their hands on these, but they're still willing to sit there and answer questions for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So I guess my question to you is, have you gotten your question answered regarding if there is a foil special edition of every single card that they have?
I have gotten that answered.
Okay.
So there is going to be a foil card of any card that you can get in the booster packs.
Oh, okay.
But cards that are exclusive, for instance, like the Jax figure will come with the Jax card.
Okay.
And that's going to be exclusive to that pack.
Sure.
There will not be a foil version of that.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that will also expand to each of the starter decks has 5 exclusive cards in it. I'm pretty sure those will not have foil versions.
Okay.
But any card that you can get in a booster pack could have foil.
Do you have that number?
I do not have that number because there's, I believe they put out the number of 385 total cards.
Right.
But I don't know how many physical characters, and I believe he said the accessories also come with cards.
Right.
So I don't know how many accessories they're putting out. So yeah, I can't narrow that down to how many foils are out there. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's close to like the 300 number.
Sure. As soon as I saw you ask that question on Twitter, I'm like, man, that's a really good question, because that's exactly what we ran into with Battlecast. Was like, oh man, this is going to be overwhelming really quickly.
Oh, and so the other thing, speaking of Battlecast, have you noticed one facet of the cards that they took from that?
I don't recall.
So, you remember the trading shield they included with Skylanders Battlecast?
Oh, yes.
So, because these cards are scannable, once again, and most of them are one-time use scans, they have also included a sort of trading shield.
Yes.
Because they have the bumps along the ridges, along the edges of the card, that make the card unique. But the bad thing is that they didn't explain the trading shield at all.
Yeah, now that you say that, you're right. They didn't.
Someone in the forums mentioned that too. It's like the only reason any of us know what this is because of Battlecast. Like most of the people in the Lightseekers card forums have played Battlecast.
Right.
And so we know what's going on, and so we know what this trading shield is, and we know about the bumps on the edges of the cards, and that's what you have to cover up in all this. But there's no explanation of it. Like I thought Battlecast went overboard. Like there was the card in each and every booster pack you opened up, and there was a card about it in a starter box. It was on the back of the starter box. I didn't see anything about it. Like any, don't take pictures of these warnings.
Right.
Because people have already made videos showing off the cards, and I'm pretty sure you could scan them. Yeah. Like they don't scan into the beta version, as far as I've been told, so it's not a problem yet. But yeah, whenever that time comes.
Well, I wonder if they'll address that once they go available to the public or not. But well, I'm excited. Lightseekers is continuing to look good. Like I said. I'm impressed. It was a nice surprise to get those packs that I had bought and totally forgot that I had bought.
Yep.
And now I'm just like, okay, now I want more of these because I clearly didn't buy enough, and this is a problem. So,
yeah,
just take all my money, Lightseekers.
The other thing they're missing is complete checklist.
I'm sure they'll come out when they're available to the public.
Yeah, they said they're working on possibly having an interactive checklist on their website. but at this point, it's just a possibility. They didn't say it's coming for sure. So
you'd think that would be a must at some point.
You would think so.
They want people to collect everything, so
that would make sense.
Yeah. I mean, unless the packs aren't going to be that readily easy to find at launch, or who knows? We'll see.
Well, actually, last time I checked, I think the starter decks are up on Amazon right now.
Are they really?
Like, and oddly enough, I think it had a release date of April 17th. I'm trying to remember if that was like because I think it was directly from Amazon too. That
I have another
like,
fever dream here, Matt.
Like if you just type in Lightseekers to Amazon, first thing pops up.
17th.
Yeah, because they're saying they might be able to release the trading cards before the game because they seem to have them ready.
Right.
And yeah, you can order any of the 6 starter decks. Pre-order them right now. Amazon thinks they'll be shipping on the 17th.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, I'm about to put some orders in and see what happens.
Yeah. So the only thing about the starter decks is there are 36 cards that are going to be the same every time.
Right.
And then it includes 1 booster pack in there.
Right.
So you will get some different cards. But the thing that's different about this Lightseekers from Battlecast again too is that there's actually use for duplicate cards.
Correct. Right.
You can have duplicate cards in your deck while you're playing.
Well, for me, I was only dumb enough to buy 1 starter deck, and then I buy a bunch of booster packs. So I'm missing 5 of the 6 starter packs. So there's definitely a reason for me to be looking into these.
That will do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. I'm gonna flag that page and come back to that after the show. Well, Matt, that's all for news.
It is.
That's all we got to talk about. Let's talk about a Twitter community question, shall we?
We could do that.
This week, it's going to be sponsored by our good friend, Evan Parker, a.k.a. The Lone Goldfish. You could catch him on twitch.tv/The Lone Goldfish sometimes. I don't know when the last time he streamed or what he streamed recently is, but you could definitely find him on Twitter at The Lone Goldfish. Go over there, say hi to Evan, let him know that we sent you. I'm sure he would appreciate it. For the community question this week, we're going to award a winner that had the best response to said question. We're going to give away a $10 Amazon gift card straight out of Matt Sonnenberg's birthday card money from his grandma. It's going right into the pocket of somebody else.
Sad day.
Sorry, Matt. Sucks to be a birthday boy sometimes.
Yep.
The rest of the year, it's just fine. Today, not so much. Well, I'm going to read the question. Do you want to read the responses, or how do you want to do this? I'm not used to having you ride shotgun
It's
with
true.
me.
It's true. Yeah, I can read through them, I think.
Okay. The question was, which of the new Amiibo announced yesterday are you most excited for, and why? If none of them, why? You know, just in case there were people that were just like, none of these Amiibo did it for me. That wasn't what I was looking for. I was really hoping for that Monster Hunter Stories Amiibo announcement, or that Box Boy Amiibo. You know, just in case.
Just in case.
So let's go over the responses here, Matt. We got a lot of them, but we'll do our best here.
You did. I'll do my best. Yeah.
Okay.
From Alan Wilkinson, he says Clouds, Corins, and Bayonettas because it's long past time. Pity that was the only mention of Smash though. Andre Sotero says all the Smash line, Bayonetta. The feeling/stress is back, and I missed it oh so much. But those Pikmin look adorable and awesome. From Doodles and Toys, we have the new Splatoon Amiibo are immaculate. I would have to agree. Mm-hmm. Eric Trejo says it has to be the Smash Bros. Amiibo because not only they announced the release date for them, but also their alternate clothes. From Will, we got the Splatoon Amiibo because the figures become your friends in the game, and I need more friends in Splatoon, even if they aren't real people.
Oh.
Ben Anderson says Cloud because he's my favorite Super Smash Brothers character. Guadalupe says Skyward Sword Link because that game was one of the few games that made me cry. Long's Toy says all look pretty great, but most excited for Cloud. Never expect to get 2 versions of him. Amazing. Lightning Star says both Corrin variants for sure, but I was surprised to see Advent Cloud announced. Chris says all of the Corrin Cloud, not Player 2, and Bayonetta, not Player 2. Mostly Corrin so I can challenge their fates.
I wish I knew as much as Fire Emblem as other people.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know that much. Like, of all of the Smash characters that came out, I know the most about Cloud. And that's not even because I played Final Fantasy. It's because I played Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So, Maddox Paradox says, my most excited one would be difficult because it's a 3-way tie between Cloud, Bayonetta in their normal outfits, and female Corrin. Sam Spencer says none, really, because I don't know any of the characters that well, except Link. The new squid looks cool, though. I might get that one. Minmin says the young Link amiibo because Majora's Mask is my girlfriend's favorite Zelda, and I have a good idea of its Breath of the Wild use. That could be interesting. Jeff Grimes says Pikmin. It's nice to see Nintendo still creating amiibo for games exclusive to the 3DS.
They won't just let that thing die, will they?
No, not at all. They said they're going to keep supporting it, and they are doing just that.
Yep.
Will Hanvey says the Splatoon 2 amiibo. Really excited that they aren't just recolors. Brady James says, I'm not as excited for the amiibo that were announced specifically. I'm more excited for the possibility of more Player 2 variant amiibo. Imagine a male Wii Fit or a female Robin. That is what I'm most excited for. But if I had to pick a favorite, it would be Pikmin because they are so cute. Evan Parker says, I'm excited for the idea of Player 2 amiibo for the rest of the Smash series and more Splatoon. Yay, Horde mode. It's true, yeah. Splatoon, they're really taking off with that.
Yeah.
That's probably the next logical addition to that game.
Mm-hmm. Salmon Run, right? Is that what they called it?
Yeah, Salmon Run.
So good.
When they just said Salmon Run, I'm like, what is that? But then they started explaining. I'm still not sure. I get the name necessarily, but it's like, okay, whatever you want to call it.
Well, the enemies that you're fighting are all different variations of salmon in their
were they
in their
I guess
various
I didn't pay that
forms
close attention.
Starting from like the eggs that you collect are like little salmon eggs, and then like the little salmon spawn, and all the way up to like the king salmon. So
fair enough.
Yeah. We here in the Pacific Northwest know a thing or two about salmon, Matt. So
you do.
Yeah.
It's very tasty. Quotes says, I love Smash, but that Pikmin amiibo looks so fresh and fun. I'll get a couple and stick them in plants around the house. I would love to do the same thing. I actually heard someone the other day was gonna decorate their fish tank with some of their old Skylanders.
Ooh. Okay.
And I could see that working. Like,
sure.
Especially, I mean, if you don't care about whether or not they work anymore, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah.
But I like the idea. Yeloso says the Bayonetta because it's just gorgeous. Oh, the Bayonetta duo. There we go.
Yeah.
Read the next one first. I got it. Cameron Evans says, definitely Cloud, normal version. It's so cool to see him in a Nintendo game, let alone Smash Bros. Gigi Mac tonight says, honestly, the 3-player 2 Smash Bros. Amiibo, because that could mean we could see more alternate costumes.
Mm-hmm. Anthony
Banos says, Bayonetta P2 looks awesome, but where can I get it? I don't think we know yet. Victor Zamora says Smash Amiibo because of how casually they announced them. Like we haven't been waiting all year. Also, Player 2 line gives hope for Koopalings.
That's true. Oh, man. Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. I mean, here we are thinking we're just going to get a second alternate for each figure, but, I mean, Bowser Jr. has 7 alternates?
Something like that.
And they wouldn't be able to just do one extra.
You see, and that's what made me think, because there are there actually 4 versions for all of them?
What do you mean?
For every character?
Every character has 8 costumes.
They have 8?
Yeah, because
Okay.
you could play up to 8 players, so they wanted to make each player be able to have a different looking character if they all pick the same. But most of them are just
never played with that many
color changes, palette swaps.
But
the Bowser
they'd
kids
still make that figure.
Yeah.
But the Koopalings, definitely.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Ian says, Majora's Mask Link, the reward in Breath of the Wild speaks for itself. Chris Smith says, I'm excited for all the alternate Smash Amiibo, since it might mean we get alts for the others. Examples, Robin, Wii Fit Trainer, and the Koopalings. Once again, people are thinking about this.
Yeah.
Aaron Spice says, Cloud, closest we'll get to Disney and Toys to Life for the foreseeable future. Cloud is in Kingdom Hearts for those that are unaware. And Danielle Bell says, the hype train looks fantastic.
It's true. It's very true.
And then, of course, you have Shopkins Inquirer just posting a little picture.
Just casually. Just posting a picture.
What are the best preschool toys?
That's a good question.
Take best preschool toys for 200, Alex.
All right, Matt. Here comes the tough part.
Yeah.
We have to pick a winner from this entire thing that we just went through.
Well, I read them. That means you have to pick, right?
No, usually Jason picks. He reads them and he picks.
Yeah. He has a little more experience with that. Well, there were some good answers in there.
Yeah.
There was one. Now I just have to find it again.
See, even though I mentioned that you might be on the show, nobody played to the fact that you were going to be on the show by throwing in a Skylander compliment. So you guys all failed for that.
Did you see Jason number 2's poll that he put up?
Yes. That's his own fault.
Yeah, Cursed Tiki Temple running away with like at least 15% of the vote, I think.
Yeah.
That was too good. Thank you for everybody.
Did you retweet the poll or something?
I did. Well, it was at like 18% before I retweeted it.
Oh, okay.
And that, like people were doing it without my help.
Gotcha.
But then I retweeted it and definitely got some more because it stayed steady at its like 15% or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I was very glad to see, because that poll got thousands of votes. So 15% is a large chunk of people that were voting for it.
Yep.
In any case, I think we'll just go with Doodles and Toys. New Splatoon Amiibo are immaculate, because they really are.
Yeah.
They look good.
Yeah. Tough one to pick this week. I mean, everybody had good answers and great explanation as to why they liked them. Thank you to everybody that participated. Doodles and Toys, get a hold of me and I'll get you your $10 Amazon gift card as soon as Matt gives me the cash from his birthday card and I could turn it into Amazon bucks. I'll send it your way. Thank you, everybody. One last thing before I let you go here, Matt. We got an email this week.
Just one?
Just one. Yeah.
All right.
People are so excited that it's hard for them to steady their hands long enough to write emails.
Yeah, they can't take it all in.
Yeah, it's tough. But this is actually pretty much a duplicate email from a couple weeks ago when Jason and I were having that weird recording issue.
Ooh.
Yeah. This email is from Victor Zamora. Writes in and says, Dear Josh and Jason, Dear Josh and Matt, that was a pretty good rib you guys pulled on us, but I really do want to know which non-Skylander character from the Skylanders games you'd want as a figure or playable character?
It's a very good question.
It's weird that you just happen to be here for this question.
Yeah, that is rather fortunate.
Yeah. So I turn to you for your expertise.
Do you have an answer for this question?
I mean, I've always been a fan of Glumshanks.
Yeah, that is definitely one we were hoping before we knew exactly what they were doing with all the villains this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're giving us chaos, so it would only make sense to make Glumshanks right alongside.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I could easily see Glumshanks.
You know who I'd like?
Yeah?
Spiro.
I
mean, he's currently a non-playable figure, a non-playable character.
I mean, okay, he acted as an NPC in Imaginators. However,
and
you could have Spyro talking to Spyro if you wanted. Because all your old Spyro figures still work, and you know that.
Spyro. I just want all the dragons. Give me the dragons.
Yeah, I can't even begin to tell you how many like Dragon Quest Skylanders games I've seen for Sky 7, all about the dragons. Yeah. People want it. They miss the dragons.
Definitely. But what about you? What do you think?
Well, you see, I instantly kind of gravitate towards like the bigger characters we see. Like you said, I mean, Glumshanks is always there. Master Eon is always there. That'd be kind of cool. So, or someone we haven't seen quite as much, like Chaos's mom. Like okay. I always thought she would have made an interesting character.
Sure.
But we don't see her that much. The one that I guess I just kind of like his name, but like every time he pops up, I'm like, hey, you're back, and that's Blobbers.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. I love Blobbers.
Sure. I like that. That's good. The rest of the email. Secondly, do you think the short production run of the NES Classic hurts the possibility of, say, an SNES Classic or otherwise? Thanks, and have a happy Easter, Victor, a.k.a. @GrizzlyKnox on Twitter. So what do you know about the NES Classic?
Well, I know they discontinued it today.
Did they really? Did I miss that?
You missed that?
Matt, work has been very busy.
Oh, yeah. The report came out today that they are discontinuing the NES Classic.
Oh, that explains this part of the email then.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Did they say why?
I haven't heard anything specifically. I haven't looked into it too much, but
I bet it was just so people would stop asking when they're going to restock the NES Classic.
Let's see.
I mean, it sold well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I like Jason posted about it, and he was saying like there's still a demand for it.
Yeah.
So why are you cutting it off so soon? Like that doesn't seem.
Put everything into the Switch.
I suppose, but I can't imagine that it's taking that much away from the Switch.
I mean, look at the minor production problems that they had with the Switch, though, with like that weird little piece of conductive foam that was missing in a lot of the Joy-Cons, and just the little weird instances like the docks not fitting 100% and like scratching some of the screens, and like all of that adds up. Maybe little things here and there, but it definitely adds up. And I'm not saying that like creating and manufacturing the NES Classics added or contributed to any of those problems. But when you are theoretically producing multiple different hardware consoles and such, if one's having a problem and that one is definitely going to be the future of your company, like you need to make sure that one is focused on the most and without any distractions.
I guess my only thought process is like the NES Classic could kind of be on autopilot. Like there's no additional programming they have to do for it, no additional design. It's just one factory line dedicated to producing more systems.
Yeah.
That should be all they need.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're working towards bringing the Virtual Console back to the Switch. Like that's something people have been demanding, and
yeah,
the more people have access to those older games other ways, the less likely they are to. Which still doesn't make sense because people still buy them on the Switch. No matter what.
Exactly, people will buy them regardless. That's why, like you said, Tetris, best-selling game. People, you put that on the Switch, people will buy it.
Maybe it's just a thing of they always intended this to be a short run.
It's very possible, But was it even in production for an entire year?
No, it just came out in November.
Yeah, and they're saying like that their last shipment's going to go out in April.
Yeah,
it's like 6 months.
Maybe that was just part of the game plan all along.
It's possible, but I would have thought we'd at least get a year out of it.
Yeah. Well, maybe that, as opposed to maybe hurting the chances of a SNES Classic, maybe that increases the chances of getting that. Like if they're discontinuing one, maybe that means that they're moving on to the next one instead.
Yeah, that was my thought too. Is that maybe next November we'll get a 6 months of SNES Classic.
Yeah, or Gameboy Classic.
That would be interesting. Do you actually minify the Game Boy? It's going to be that would just be like Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced, but it looks like the old Game Boy.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work. Would it be? It's probably just a little cartridge that you put into your Switch and make it look like it's a Game Boy on the screen,
Yeah.
Virtual Game Boy. Virtual Boy. That's a show, Matt.
It's a good show.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for helping me finish the show. I would rather sit here by myself and do it, and nobody wants to hear that. So
yeah. Glad I could stick around.
You want to let people know where they could find you and all that good stuff, and how to get a hold of you, and where else they could hear your wonderful voice on a weekly basis, talking about fantastic, wonderful things.
Like beasts? You can always find me personally on Twitter at As a Matter of Matt. Otherwise, more specifically to this show, you can find me on Twitter at SCL Matt. It's all of my Skylanders news there. As you mentioned before, head over to sclmatt.com. That's where you'll find all of my projects that I'm working on, including the wonderful Tales from Godric's Hollow podcast that always goes out every week. It's been doing quite well. We've gotten you about halfway through book 4 now.
Yep.
So we're chugging right along, but we still got, honestly, a couple years worth of content to get you all the way through. So
once you say like halfway through book 4, it's just like, yes, we are just making progress. And then you say, it's a couple years away. It's like, oh, no, back
exactly. It's like halfway through book 4 should be halfway through the series, but it's not.
No. Well, books 1 through 3 are the equivalent size of book 4 combined.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you for joining me, of course, Matt. You're welcome back anytime. Maybe next time there's some more Skylanders news, we'll have you back on, as always.
Sounds like a plan.
You can find me personally on Twitter at The Noise with a Y. Be sure to follow the show on Twitter at Toys for Games. You could email us, podcast@toysforgames.com. You can join the Facebook group and go over there, join the conversation, talk to folks, tell them what you're all excited about, what you're needing some help with collecting or anything like that. Facebook.com/groups/toysforgames. And if you'd like to support us, like Matt does with his birthday money, and everybody else that supports us over there, you could do so over at Patreon, patreon.com/toysforgames. With that being said, we should be back next week, but with the way Jason's life happens these days, You never know. You never quite know with that man. But we'll see. We should be back. But until next time, happy hunting, collectors.